Sheriff John Bunnell. There are times when fighting crime can be like a supercharged game of chess, where cops have to outthink and outmaneuver their opponents at lightning-fast speed. That's why officers need to keep their wits sharp. So no matter what move a crook makes, it's the police saying checkmate.
Steubenville, Ohio. A crazed man walks into a grocery store waving a gun. He grabs store clerk Pamela Hinkle and holds her at gunpoint. The cops try to reason with the man, but it's no use.
We contacted a marksman from Mingo, Lieutenant Powers. He come to the scene, and I gave him the order to do whatever was necessary for the safety of the hostage.
Now the clerk's life rests in the trigger finger of marksman Lieutenant Powers. The timing has to be just right, but he can't fire while the gun is aimed directly at the hostage. The gunman looks nervous, the clerk terrified. As police continue to negotiate, the gunman gets angry. He carelessly points the gun straight at a police officer. The gun is not pointed at Pamela. The gunmen go down. No one moves. Then they rush the store, but the gunman is down. It's over. The clerk has Lieutenant Powers and his years of training to thank for this moment.
I don't think I remember hearing the shot when Lieutenant Powers shot him. I was probably in shock then. Just waiting for something to happen.
Timing is everything. In another insane pursuit, a gang of teenage car thieves makes off with a stolen vehicle. Two of the suspects have outstanding warrants. Camden Deputy Larry Taylor stays on their bumper. He hopes the thieves will wise up. But these carjacking juveniles show no regard for human life. They push it past 100, narrowly missing other vehicles. The skilled deputy hugs the road and hits the accelerator. He's not letting them get away. The chase becomes a dogfight on the open highway. Weaving through lanes, riding the shoulder, they fly past traffic like it's standing still. Deputies now realize the only way to take these guys down is to take them out completely. Deputy Taylor waits for just the right moment. He performs the difficult maneuver with total precision. It knocks out the suspect vehicle, but the deputy maintains control.
1050, Kim. 1050, how many squad en route? 1018.
Some of the suspects are ejected during the crash, but no one is seriously hurt. These Florida car thieves thought they could outrun the Camden deputies.
Hang on.
Now they know better. But they had to find out the hard way.
Police cruisers are powerful machines. But what happens when a car thief steals a vehicle that's even more powerful?
Lockland, Ohio. Police are in pursuit of a stolen Jeep Cherokee. With a 250 horsepower engine and four-wheel drive, it's a formidable machine. But with a teenage driver sky high on crack,
Suspects are dropping vials out the window.
it's a raging monster. The truck's tight handling allows it to swerve wildly around other cars, a warning for police to keep back. The vehicle weaves back and forth, not allowing the officer to move up. In a moment, the Jeep then makes a sudden U-turn. The cruiser clips its back end, but the unfazed truck speeds away. It'll take more than a tap to bring down this beast. Seconds later, the suspect barely avoids a head-on collision with a cop. Soon the teens are racing toward the suburbs at 80 miles per hour. They almost skid off a curb, but maintain control. The truck barrels into a quiet neighborhood. Officers fear for the residents' safety and maneuver carefully through the streets. But when the suspect makes a hard left, the patrol car seizes the moment. At the precise point in the truck's turn, he pushes its left rear fender. The vehicle's own weight is used against it. The driver is apprehended a few minutes later. Officers drag his partner out of the wreckage and take him into custody. When hopped-up punks drive trucks as tough as this, police have to pull out all the stops to shut them down. Coming up on World's Wildest Police Video, the fastest pursuits, the scariest shootouts, and unusual crimes
I need some help.
ever captured on video. Next.
Criminals always think they're smarter than the cops. But there's a very special place for people who try to fool the law. It's called jail.
Eminence, Kentucky. Police track down a convicted felon. The guy's got a 3-page rap sheet, and he's fleeing in a stolen vehicle. Moments ago, the driver was feeling homesick in a bar, so he stole a car to drive back to his native California. He hasn't gotten very far when these officers mobilize from both directions to try to slow him down. Now another officer takes the lead, but this career criminal still won't pull over. After several warnings,
Pull the car over. Stop the car.
he has no choice but to force the suspect off the road. But the guy's a stubborn drunk. He veers back onto the highway, still determined to drive across the country. They've got him.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up now. Keep them up.
Police push him off the road by using the pit maneuver, the pursuit intervention technique. It succeeds in getting this man off the road and back to his second home, the city jail. Fort Wentworth, Georgia. Sergeant M.B. Ferran pursues a wanted felon.
Coming north.
The cocky criminal just tried to pass a bad check and then ran down a security guard while getting away. Now he's racked up 2 more felonies on top of his outstanding warrants. And with this guy, one crime just leads to another. Driving conditions are treacherous. And when the conniving ex-con tries to give police the slip, he ends up sliding right off the highway. The officer is ready to make an arrest, but the tunneled vision fugitive never considers giving up. It's clear this driver isn't stopping for anything. Not even a 20-ton big rig. But when he turns across the highway, it becomes a hood ornament on this semi. The police quickly apprehend the criminal. And the only injuries, a heap of scrap metal. This man's crime spree included fraud, evading, and assault. So it was no surprise that his getaway car was stolen.
Coming north.
He thought his criminal momentum would make him unstoppable. But it also blinded him to what was right in front of his face.
Terror can strike any time when you'd least expect it. And when it does, police have to react in a heartbeat and make a life and death decision.
Granite City, Illinois. The quiet of a neighborhood store is shattered when shots ring out from the parking lot. As bullets rip through the night, the crowd panics and runs screaming for the exit. A crazed gunman has gone on a wild rampage, firing randomly at strangers. Several fleeing customers can't get out in time. Instead, they find the gunman blocking the exit. Praying the insane man doesn't fire at them, they run in the other direction. Ranting like a lunatic, He leaps over and gives an order to the frightened clerk. She leads the demented man to the back of the store where she knows police can see them. When the gunman is in full view, police open fire. The man recoils as if he's been hit, but he hasn't. The woman takes cover behind a rack of tapes, but the disturbed gunman has forgotten about her. He's now focused on the cops outside. He waves his weapon, welcoming a brutal shootout. There is another hail of bullets. Police quickly bring this would-be killer to an end. Thanks to the police, this gunman's victims all survived.
Can you just put down the gun?
But this rampage is a grim reminder of how terror can strike at any time.
Pursuit policies not only differ from one department to another, but also from one chase to another. Officers factor in the seriousness of the offense and the risk to the public before ultimately deciding the safest way to make the bust.
Kelana Jaya, Malaysia.
A bizarre chase has downtown traffic at a standstill when a pair of four-legged farm fugitives barrel their way onto this crowded freeway.
Be advised, subject is all over the road.
There are two suspects making a break for it. But it has now turned into a perilous pursuit. This officer risks everything when he steps into the path of the charging suspect. But these stampeding bovines won't be stopped.
We nearly lost it.
After a tense standoff, police finally convince this suspect to give up. Officers take culprits into custody. These hard-charging, illegal lane-changing, tough as leather desperados did all they could to evade capture. But police were willing to do more, to round up these unusual suspects and herd them back to the pen. From Samaritans
Now they're moving.
to sheriffs, we're all in the fight against crime.
It's 10:50.
Because crime affects each of us. In all places.
I don't know where I'm at.
Police will keep fighting to stop crime before they start.
We need some help.